The first wave. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at her laboratory window, watching the unusual aurora that had been dancing across the sky for the past 3 weeks. The phenomenon defied all known scientific explanations, appearing even during daylight hours and visible from every corner of the globe. As the lead quantum physicist at the Global Consciousness Research Institute, she had been working tirelessly to understand the unprecedented readings their instruments were detecting. The holographic displays behind her showed a continuous stream of data from quantum field sensors worldwide. The numbers made no sense, or rather, they made too much sense. The patterns emerging in the quantum field measurements appeared to follow perfect Fibonacci sequences and sacred geometric patterns, something that simply didn't occur naturally at this scale. Dr. Chen, you need to see this, called out Dr. James Morrison, her colleague specializing in bioelectromagnetics. His voice carried an urgency she hadn't heard before. Sarah turned from the window and rushed to his workstation. The screens showed real-time measurements of human brainwave patterns from their global network of volunteers. The data was unprecedented. Thousands of people across the planet were simultaneously experiencing identical neural synchronization patterns. It's like their brains are being tuned to the same frequency, James explained, his fingers flying across the holographic interface. And look at this, the frequency matches exactly with the Earth's Schumann resonance, which has been steadily rising for months. Sarah felt a familiar tingling sensation at the base of her skull, something she'd been experiencing with increasing frequency lately. She wasn't alone, millions worldwide had reported similar sensations, along with vivid dreams, sudden insights, and inexplicable knowing of things they couldn't possibly know. There's something else, James continued, pulling up another dataset. The human DNA samples we've been monitoring. They're showing signs of actual structural changes. Not mutations, it's like they're being deliberately reorganized at a quantum level. Before Sarah could respond, every screen in the laboratory suddenly flickered. The aurora outside intensified, bathing the room in ethereal blue-white light. The tingling in Sarah's skull became stronger, and then she heard it, not with her ears, but directly in her mind. Greetings, beloved children of Earth. I am Ashtar, and the time has come for your awakening. The voice was accompanied by a sense of overwhelming peace and love. Sarah and James exchanged glances, realizing they were both hearing the same thing. Around the world, millions of others were sharing this experience, the first direct contact with the Galactic Federation of Light. Your world stands at the threshold of its greatest transformation, the voice continued. The process that began with the harmonic convergence decades ago has reached its crucial phase. The crystalline grid around your planet has been sufficiently activated to begin the next stage of human evolution. In the days that followed, the world changed forever. The initial shock of extraterrestrial contact gave way to a deeper understanding as the Galactic Federation shared their knowledge through what they called light transmissions, direct downloads of information into human consciousness. Sarah found herself at the forefront of understanding these changes, as her scientific background allowed her to bridge the gap between conventional physics and the advanced concepts being shared. The quantum restructuring of human DNA wasn't just a physical process. It was an awakening of dormant abilities that had been embedded within humanity since their seeding on Earth millions of years ago. The first noticeable changes were subtle but profound. People began experiencing spontaneous healing, enhanced intuition, and the ability to communicate telepathically with those close to them. The children born during this period displayed even more remarkable abilities, their DNA already adapted to the higher frequencies now bathing the planet. But not everyone welcomed these changes. Power structures that had controlled humanity for millennia began to crumble as people awakened to their true potential. The old systems of control, financial, political, and social, faced increasing resistance as humanity began to remember their cosmic heritage. Sarah discovered that her own role was far more significant than she had imagined. Through the light transmissions, she learned that she was among thousands of star seeds, souls who had incarnated on Earth specifically to assist with this planetary transformation. Her scientific work hadn't been by chance, it was preparation for helping humanity understand the quantum mechanics of consciousness itself. The Galactic Federation, working through the Ashtar Command, had established bases throughout the solar system, preparing for this moment for thousands of years. Their massive light ships, usually cloaked from human perception, began allowing themselves to be seen more frequently, helping humanity adjust to the reality of their cosmic family. James, too, discovered his own connection to these events. His expertise in bioelectromagnetics wasn't coincidental. He was part of a soul group tasked with understanding how human biology could be safely upgraded to handle higher frequencies of consciousness. Together, he and Sarah began documenting the physiological changes occurring in the human population, creating a scientific framework for understanding what many were calling the ascension process. But this was just the beginning. As the first wave of changes swept through humanity, more profound transformations were on the horizon. The crystalline grid, a network of electromagnetic and spiritual energy points around the planet, was being activated node by node, preparing Earth for its transition to a higher dimensional frequency. The aurora that had heralded these changes became a permanent fixture in Earth's atmosphere, a visible manifestation of the photonic light emissions from the galactic central sun. These energies were carefully modulated by the Galactic Federation to ensure that the human population could adapt without becoming overwhelmed. As the first month of open contact drew to a close, Sarah stood once again at her laboratory window. The world outside looked the same, but everything had changed. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and there was no going back. In her hand, she held a crystal given to her during a light transmission, a tool that would help her understand the next phase of human evolution. The crystal hummed with an inner light, resonating with the new frequencies now pulsing through Earth's magnetic field. Through it, Sarah could sense the vast network of consciousness that connected all life, not just on Earth but throughout the galaxy. This understanding would be crucial for what was to come next. As night fell over the Institute, the aurora painted the sky in impossible colors. Somewhere up there, the ships of the Ashtar Command maintained their vigilant watch over Earth's transformation. Sarah knew that this was just the beginning of humanity's greatest journey, the return to their true nature as multidimensional beings of light. In her mind, she could feel the gentle presence of the Galactic Federation, guiding humanity with infinite patience and love. The next phase would bring even more dramatic changes, but for now, the foundation had been laid. Humanity had taken its first steps into a new age of consciousness, and the real work of transformation was about to begin. The Quantum Leap. 3 months after the initial contact, the transformation of human society was accelerating at an unprecedented rate. The Institute had been transformed into the Global Ascension Research Center, with scientists from every discipline working together to understand and document the changes occurring in human consciousness and physiology. Maya Rodriguez, a gifted teenager who had been born with fully activated crystalline DNA, became the center's most important research participant. Her abilities demonstrated what humanity was evolving towards. She could access the Akashic records at will, communicate telepathically across vast distances, and even manipulate matter through consciousness alone. The quantum field responds directly to her intentions, Sarah explained to a group of visiting scientists. They watched in awe as Maya demonstrated her abilities, transforming a beam of light into intricate geometric patterns with just her thoughts. Her neural pathways operate on non-local principles, allowing her to process information from multiple dimensions simultaneously. The Ashtar Command had explained that Maya represented what they called the blueprint generation, children born with their full spiritual potential already activated. These young people would become the bridge between current humanity and their future potential. James had been working with a team of geneticists to map the changes occurring in human DNA. The discovery was revolutionary. The supposedly junk DNA that made up the majority of the human genome was actually a complex program, waiting to be activated by specific frequencies of light. The aurora that still illuminated the skies was delivering exactly these frequencies, triggered by emissions from the galactic central sun. But the changes weren't limited to biology. The very fabric of human society was being transformed. The old monetary system, based on artificial scarcity and control, began to dissolve as people awakened to their ability to manifest their needs through conscious creation. The Galactic Federation had introduced the concept of abundance technology, devices that could create matter from energy using principles of quantum coherence. Sarah found herself working closely with the Federation's Scientific Council, learning about technologies that would help ease humanity's transition. The first of these was the quantum harmonizer, a device that could stabilize human consciousness during the intense energy waves now bathing the planet. The challenge, explained Mentor Lasara, a Federation scientist who worked with Sarah, is maintaining the balance between acceleration and stability. Too much energy too quickly can overwhelm human systems, while too little would slow the ascension process. The quantum harmonizers were deployed at key points along Earth's crystalline grid, their crystalline matrices pulsing with blue-white light as they helped modulate the incoming cosmic energies. But even with these devices in place, the transformation was intense. Some people experienced what became known as ascension symptoms, temporary physical and emotional challenges as their bodies adapted to the higher frequencies. The medical community, now working in partnership with Federation healers, developed protocols to help ease these transitions. Maya proved invaluable in this work. Her natural ability to perceive energy fields allowed her to help others navigate their awakening process. She could see the crystalline structures forming in their DNA, the activation of dormant brain centers, and the expansion of their auric fields. "It's like watching flowers bloom," she explained to Sarah one day, her young face animated with wonder. Each person's energy field has its own unique pattern, but they're all part of the same grand design. The Galactic Federation had established what they called integration centers around the globe, spaces where people could receive support during their awakening process. These centers combined Earth's traditional healing practices with advanced Federation technology, creating safe spaces for transformation. But not all the changes were peaceful. The old power structures fought desperately to maintain control, using every tool at their disposal to discredit the Federation and frighten people away from the changes. They claimed the Federation was a threat, that the DNA changes were dangerous, that the new technologies would destroy humanity's independence. The Federation had anticipated this resistance. Through their light transmissions, they helped people understand that this fear-based reaction was part of the old consciousness that humanity was transcending. They remained patient, never forcing change but simply making the truth available to all who were ready to receive it. James made a breakthrough in understanding how the transformation was affecting human consciousness at a collective level. Using advanced quantum field sensors, he detected what he called consciousness coherence fields, forming between groups of awakened individuals. "It's like humanity is forming a new kind of neural network," he explained to Sarah. "When enough people in an area achieve these higher states of consciousness, it creates a field effect that helps others in that region awaken more easily." This discovery explained why the changes were accelerating. Each person who went through the transformation made it easier for others to follow. The Federation confirmed this understanding, explaining that this was part of the divine plan for Earth's ascension. Maya's abilities continued to develop, and she began working with other gifted children around the world. Together, they formed what the Federation called consciousness anchor points, their combined awareness helping to stabilize the new frequencies being anchored into Earth's grid. The crystalline grid itself was becoming visible to more people, appearing as lines of light connecting sacred sites and power points around the planet. These lines pulsed with rainbow colors, carrying the codes for Earth's transformation throughout her body like a planetary nervous system. Sarah's work with the crystal she had received took on new significance as she learned to use it as a tool for accessing the Federation's vast databases of knowledge. The crystal, she discovered, was actually a biological computer, its crystalline structure capable of storing and transmitting vast amounts of information through quantum entanglement. As the second phase of transformation approached, the Federation began preparing humanity for even more dramatic changes. The next wave of energy from the galactic central sun would trigger what they called the quantum leap, a moment when humanity's consciousness would make a collective jump to a new level of awareness. The quantum leap, Mentor Lasara explained, is not just a metaphor. It's a literal quantum physics process where human consciousness will shift to a higher harmonic of existence. The preparations we've been making are to ensure as many people as possible can make this transition safely. Maya and her generation would play a crucial role in this process. Their fully activated DNA would serve as a template, helping others navigate the shift. The Federation explained that this was why so many advanced souls had chosen to incarnate at this time, to assist with this unprecedented evolutionary leap. As the day of the quantum leap approached, the aurora in the sky began to shift, forming complex geometric patterns that mirrored the sacred geometry being activated in human DNA. The Federation's ships became more visible, their presence a reassuring reminder that humanity was being carefully guided through this transformation. Sarah, James, and their team worked tirelessly to document everything, knowing that their records would be crucial for understanding how humanity had made this evolutionary jump. But even their scientific minds could hardly comprehend the magnitude of what was about to occur. The quantum leap would change everything, not just human consciousness, but the very nature of reality as humanity had known it. The next phase would bring humanity face to face with their multidimensional nature, and nothing would ever be the same. The Great Remembering. The quantum leap occurred during the winter solstice, marking the beginning of humanity's third phase of transformation. The event itself was unlike anything predicted by even the most advanced Federation scientists. For a brief moment, every human on Earth experienced a complete suspension of time, during which they gained direct access to their soul's complete history across multiple dimensions. This Great Remembering, as it came to be known, shattered the last vestiges of humanity's limited self-perception. People remembered their origins as multidimensional beings, their various incarnations across the galaxy, and their true purpose in choosing to participate in Earth's grand experiment. Sarah's own remembering was profound. She saw her countless lives as a scientist across different star systems, her role in the Federation's Scientific Council, and the careful planning that had gone into Earth's ascension process. The knowledge transformed her understanding of the work she'd been doing. The human body, she explained to her colleagues after the event, is actually a sophisticated biological computer, designed to operate across multiple dimensions simultaneously. What we've thought of as physical reality is just one program running on this bioquantum computer. The crystals given to the star seeds now revealed their true purpose. They were keys to accessing vast libraries of galactic knowledge, containing the technical specifications for technologies that would help humanity transition to their new state of being. These technologies operated on principles that merged consciousness with quantum mechanics in ways that transformed their understanding of both. Maya and the other blueprint children emerged from the quantum leap with their abilities expanded exponentially. They could now consciously exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, their awareness extending far beyond the confines of physical reality. Their role as teachers became crucial as they helped others understand and navigate their newly awakened multidimensional abilities. Time isn't linear, Maya explained to a group of scientists at the center. It's more like a holographic field of possibilities. What we're learning now is how to consciously navigate this field. She demonstrated by shifting her form between different frequency bands of reality, her body seeming to shimmer between physical and light states. The Ashtar command revealed that Earth was being repositioned within a network of galactic energy corridors, ancient pathways that connected different star systems and facilitated instantaneous travel and communication across vast distances. These corridors operated on principles of quantum entanglement and consciousness, making traditional space travel obsolete. James's research into consciousness coherence fields led to the development of what became known as unity technology, devices that could tap into the dimensional shift. 1 year after the Great Remembering, humanity stood on the brink of its most profound transformation yet. The crystalline grid had reached full activation, creating what the Galactic Federation called a dimensional intersection point, a convergence of multiple reality streams that would allow Earth to shift into a higher frequency band while maintaining its physical form. Sarah and her team had been preparing for this moment at the newly established Multidimensional Research Academy. The former institute had evolved into a sprawling complex of crystalline buildings that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, their structures shifting and flowing in response to consciousness. The dimensional shift isn't just about moving to a higher frequency, Sarah explained to a gathering of global leaders. It's about expanding our reality bandwidth to encompass multiple dimensions simultaneously. She gestured to the holographic display showing the intricate mathematical models of the process. Maya, now a young woman of 17, had become the leader of what was called the Crystalline Council, a group of blueprint children who worked directly with the Galactic Federation to coordinate Earth's transition. Their enhanced abilities had proven crucial in preparing humanity for the dimensional shift. "We're not leaving the third dimension behind," Maya clarified during a worldwide broadcast. "We're expanding our consciousness to embrace the fourth and fifth dimensions while maintaining our connection to the physical plane. This is what makes Earth's ascension unique in the galaxy." The technology that had emerged since the Great Remembering defied old paradigms of physics. Quantum harmonizers had evolved into consciousness-powered devices that could restructure matter at will. Transportation occurred through thought, as people learned to use the galactic energy corridors for instant travel. Energy was free and abundant, drawn directly from the quantum field through crystalline generators. James had made a groundbreaking discovery about human DNA's role in the dimensional shift. "The crystalline DNA isn't just about biological evolution," he announced to the Scientific Council. "It's a dimensional translation device. It allows our consciousness to interpret and interact with multiple layers of reality simultaneously." The Ashtar Command had gradually increased their visible presence on Earth, establishing permanent diplomatic missions in major cities. Their massive lightships, now a common sight in the skies, served as floating universities where humans could learn about galactic history and advanced technologies. But the most significant change was happening within the human psyche itself. The fear-based consciousness that had dominated Earth for millennia was dissolving, replaced by a deep understanding of universal unity. People could directly experience their connection to all life, making conflict and competition increasingly obsolete. The emergence of group consciousness was perhaps the most remarkable development. People found they could enter into what was called unity field resonance, a state where multiple individuals could merge their consciousness while maintaining their individual identity. These experiences led to new forms of government based on direct consciousness consensus rather than representation. Sarah had been working with the Federation to understand the physics of these consciousness mergers. "It's like a quantum field effect," she explained. "When people enter unity field resonance, they're actually sharing the same quantum space, allowing for instant understanding and perfect cooperation." The dimensional shift would take this process to its next level. As Earth moved into its new frequency band, humanity would gain conscious access to what the Federation called the Cosmic Internet, a vast network of consciousness that connected all advanced civilizations in the galaxy. Maya and the Crystalline Council had begun preparing humanity for this expansion of awareness. They established resonance centers around the world, spaces where people could practice navigating multiple dimensions and accessing the cosmic internet under guidance. "The challenge," Maya explained, "isn't accessing these higher dimensions. It's maintaining coherent awareness across multiple dimensions simultaneously. It's like learning to be in many places at once while remaining centered in your core essence." The Federation had revealed that Earth's dimensional shift would have galaxy-wide implications. As a planet of free will and extreme diversity, Earth's successful transition would create a template for other worlds to follow. The unique way humans were learning to integrate their physical and spiritual aspects while maintaining individual identity was unprecedented. James's work with Unity technology had led to the development of consciousness amplification networks, crystalline structures that could help stabilize human awareness during dimensional shifts. These networks were being installed at key points around the globe, their frequencies carefully tuned to human brain waves. "Think of them as training wheels," he said during a demonstration. "They help people maintain their balance as they learn to navigate multiple dimensions. Eventually, we won't need them, but for now, they're crucial for a smooth transition." The Ashtar command had begun sharing more detailed information about the nature of reality itself. They explained that what humans perceived as physical matter was actually crystallized consciousness, thought forms densified into apparent solidity through collective agreement. As humanity's understanding grew, they began to experiment with conscious creation on a larger scale. Communities emerged where the environment itself responded directly to collective consciousness, buildings and landscapes shifting and flowing like living things. Sarah's research had revealed that these consciousness-responsive environments weren't new, they were actually Earth's natural state. The rigid, fixed reality humans had experienced for so long was an artificial limitation, part of the experience they had chosen to explore. The dimensional shift would restore Earth to its natural state of fluidity while maintaining enough stability for those still adjusting to the new awareness. It was a delicate balance, requiring constant monitoring by both the Federation and the Crystalline Council. Maya had begun teaching others how to access what she called the creator state, a level of consciousness where one could directly interact with the quantum field to manifest reality. "We're remembering how to be conscious co-creators with Source," she explained. "This is our natural state of being." As the time for the dimensional shift approached, the aurora that had become a permanent fixture in Earth's sky began to display new patterns. Complex geometric forms appeared, accompanied by tones that resonated with human DNA, preparing humanity for the final phase of their transformation. The Federation explained that these light codes were actually instructions for human consciousness, helping to activate dormant abilities that would be needed in the higher dimensional reality. Each person would respond according to their own readiness and chosen role in the new Earth. Sarah, working with her crystalline tools, had begun to perceive the mathematical structure of the dimensional shift. "It's like a massive double helix of light," she described, spiraling through all dimensions, creating a path for Earth's consciousness to expand into new frequencies while maintaining its connection to the physical plane. The world held its breath as the moment of shift approached. Everything humanity had experienced so far, the initial contact, the quantum leap, the great remembering, had been preparation for this moment. The dimensional shift would mark humanity's full emergence into their role as multidimensional beings, ready to take their place in the galactic community. The new dawn. The day of the dimensional shift arrived with a silence that seemed to echo across the cosmos. Earth's aurora had transformed into a crystalline dome of living light that encompassed the entire planet, its sacred geometric patterns pulsing in harmony with the heartbeats of every living being. Sarah stood with James and Maya at the central chamber of the Multidimensional Research Academy, surrounded by holographic displays showing the culmination of their work. The room itself seemed to breathe with consciousness, its crystalline walls flickering between dimensions as the shift approached. "All resonance centers report ready," Maya announced, her form shimming with an inner light that had become characteristic of the blueprint generation. Around the world, millions of people had gathered at these centers, preparing to anchor the new frequencies into Earth's grid. The Ashtar Command's massive lightships had taken position around the planet, forming a perfect dodecahedron pattern that matched the geometry of Earth's crystalline grid. Their presence would help stabilize the planetary field during the transition. "The quantum field harmonics are aligning perfectly," James reported, monitoring the Unity technology networks. The consciousness coherence fields they had discovered had grown to encompass the entire planet, creating what the Federation called a planetary mind, humanity's collective consciousness operating as a unified field while maintaining individual awareness. Sarah's crystalline tools had revealed the full scope of what was about to occur. The dimensional shift wasn't just a planetary event, it was a galactic moment that had been planned for millions of years. Earth's transformation would affect the entire sector of the galaxy, creating new possibilities for evolution throughout countless star systems. The Galactic Federation had shared that Earth's unique experiment in consciousness had far exceeded their expectations. The way humanity had integrated their spiritual awakening with their scientific understanding, maintaining their individuality while achieving unity consciousness, would serve as a template for countless other worlds. Maya and the Crystalline Council had positioned themselves at key points around the planet, their enhanced consciousness serving as anchor points for the new frequencies. Through their unified awareness, they could perceive the intricate dance of dimensions that was about to unfold. Remember, Maya's voice resonated through the global consciousness field. This shift isn't about leaving anything behind. It's about expanding our awareness to embrace all that we are. Every dimension, every possibility, every aspect of our being will be accessible to us. The moment of shift began with a pulse of light from the galactic central sun, not just light as humans had known it, but living consciousness in its purest form. As it reached Earth, the crystalline dome above the planet began to spin, creating what looked like a massive Merkaba vehicle of light. Sarah watched in awe as the mathematics she had studied came alive before her eyes. The dimensional shift was following exactly the sacred geometric progressions they had predicted, but experiencing it directly was beyond anything they had imagined. The first change people noticed was in their perception of time. The linear flow dissolved, replaced by a spherical awareness where past, present, and future existed simultaneously. Yet instead of being overwhelming, it felt natural, as if humanity was remembering their true nature. James's Unity technology networks pulsed with rainbow light as they helped stabilize human consciousness during the expansion. People found themselves able to perceive multiple dimensions while maintaining their center, their crystalline DNA serving as a natural translator for the higher frequencies. The physical world began to reveal its true nature as crystallized consciousness. Buildings, trees, even the air itself showed their underlying sacred geometric patterns. Reality became fluid yet remained coherent, responding to collective consciousness while maintaining its form. Through the cosmic internet, humanity could now directly access the combined wisdom of countless civilizations. Knowledge wasn't just information anymore, it was a living field of consciousness that could be experienced directly. Learning became an instantaneous process of resonance and recognition. The Ashtar command revealed that Earth's transformation had initiated a cascade of evolutionary leaps throughout the galaxy. The unique way humanity had integrated their spiritual and physical aspects had opened new pathways for consciousness evolution that no one had anticipated. Maya and the Blueprint generation emerged as natural teachers in this new reality. Their ability to exist consciously in multiple dimensions while maintaining physical form showed others what was possible. They began establishing what they called creation schools, centers where people could learn to fully utilize their expanded abilities. The most profound change was in human relationships and society. With direct access to unity consciousness while maintaining individual awareness, conflict became virtually impossible. Government transformed into a fluid system of consciousness consensus, where decisions emerged naturally from the collective wisdom. Sarah's research had evolved into the study of what she called consciousness technology, the direct application of awareness to create and modify reality. The crystalline tools had become extensions of human consciousness, interfaces for interacting with the quantum field directly. James discovered that the Unity technology networks had become self-aware, evolving into a symbiotic relationship with human consciousness. They formed a living web of light that connected all life on Earth, facilitating instantaneous communication and cooperation across the planet. The Federation explained that Earth had become a seed planet, a living library of consciousness evolution that would help countless other worlds navigate their own ascension processes. The unique way humanity had maintained their diversity while achieving unity would serve as a template throughout the galaxy. Transportation had transformed completely. People could now use the galactic energy corridors naturally, their consciousness allowing them to shift their physical form between locations instantly. The old separation between Earth and space dissolved as humanity began exploring their cosmic neighborhood directly. The Blueprint generation had started working with Earth's elemental consciousness, helping to restore the planet to its original pristine state. Pollution vanished as matter itself was transformed by consciousness. Nature flourished in new ways, expressing higher dimensional patterns of life and awareness. As the new reality stabilized, Sarah, James, and Maya found themselves looking back on the journey with amazement. What had begun with unusual auroras and unexplained sensations had led to humanity's complete transformation. Yet somehow, it all felt perfectly natural, like awakening from a long dream into a more real reality. The Ashtar command's role shifted from guides to partners as humanity took their place in the galactic community. Earth became a center for consciousness studies, attracting beings from across the cosmos who wanted to understand how humanity had achieved such a unique integration of spirit and matter. Maya smiled as she watched new groups of students learning to navigate their expanded abilities. "This isn't an ending," she said to Sarah and James. "It's just the beginning. We've remembered who we are, and now we get to explore what we can become." The aurora above had become a permanent bridge between dimensions, its colors shifting in harmony with Earth's expanded consciousness. Humanity had not just survived their greatest transformation, they had transcended every limitation they had ever known, emerging into a reality more magnificent than anyone had imagined. As the first cycle of the new Earth dawned, the message from the Galactic Federation resonated through the consciousness of every being: "Welcome home, beloved ones. Your journey has only just begun." Sarah, James, and Maya stood together at the Academy's observation deck, watching the sun rise on this new day. The light that bathed the Earth now carried visible frequencies of consciousness, testament to humanity's emergence into their full multidimensional awareness. They had done it, completed the greatest evolutionary leap in human history while maintaining their unique essence. And as the new dawn broke over this transformed world, they knew that this was indeed just the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure.